So I decided to make some enchiladas. I'm gonna start by heating up the oil. I'm gonna cut a small white onion into tiny pieces. Usually I cut them into slices, but I want them small. Also, I like my enchiladas to have a little bit of a kick, so I'll cut some serrano pepper. You can add more if you want. The serrano pepper is already a little bit aged, which usually means that it'll be spicier. I'm not sure if it's actually real, but that's what my family says, so I kind of went for it. I'm also going to proceed to cut the serrano peppers into tinier pieces because I don't want to take a bite into a big piece. I'm going to put the onion into the hot oil and I'm going to add the serrano peppers and stir. Let the oil get infused with the spiciness of it and the flavor. Once I see that it's ready, I'll proceed to add my shredded chicken. I also add a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. I mix and let it crisp a little bit. Meanwhile you're preparing your baking pan, I suggest you preheat your oven to 350 or equivalent. I add some oil to my baking pan. This will prevent the tortillas from getting stuck to it. I'm using tortillas de harina. I cook them a little bit and place them on the pan. Now I'm going to bring out my red enchilada sauce. I only did a small batch, so I'm not adding too much. I'm going to put it inside all of the tortillas, make sure all of them has a good amount, and there's going to be leftovers, so I'm going to put it to the side. We're going to use it later. I'm going to put the shredded chicken, make sure each taco has about the same amount. Also, I didn't make a lot of chicken, so I'm not putting a lot. Plus, there's other stuff that's going to go inside, so I need to make some space for it. I did have chicken left over, so I went ahead and looked at my enchiladas and kind of looked to see which one needed some chicken. And I just refilled them a little. I didn't have time to make black beans, so I bought a can from H-E-B. It had lime and jalapenos, so I thought it would be perfect. I only got 1 can of black beans, so I try to use a fair amount of beans per enchilada. You can prepare yourself by maybe buying 2 cans. For the cheese, I used a Mexican blend from H-E-B. Just add as much as you want to. I really love cheese, so I kind of do put quite a bit, but you go ahead and go crazy. I then roll my enchiladas and I fix them in a way so the tortilla doesn't unfold and spill all its contents, and I do that for all of them, and I make space for them to not be so squished between each other. I bring out my red enchilada sauce once again and I put it on top of the tortillas. I make sure all of them get really well covered. I like to add a lot of chile on mine, so you go ahead and do as you please. And I also take the time to add some between the individual enchiladas. And of course, we add more cheese. And we just keep adding and adding until we feel like it's about right. I like to garnish my enchiladas with some fresh cilantro. It smells so good and it gives it more color because everything's red and yellow and white. And then I put it in the oven. I take them out once I see that the cheese is fully melted and it looks ready to go, which is about like 15-20 minutes depending. And then I add some aguacate on top. Sometimes I add some tomato. This time I decided to just use plain aguacate. And they're ready to go and serve. They're very heavy and they're very big. Right there you can see that the measurement, they're bigger than 5 inches. So I like to serve them with some lime. We're really big in lime here. And I like to add some sour cream, but that's optional. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's a really quick recipe. Gracias por mirar este video. Bye. Adios. Oh no, I'm running out of beans.